And hello fellow tankers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today we will take a quick look at Progetto 65 Tier 10 Italian medium tank. And this tank is in the on-track event for this week, so I decided to show it to you so you can make up your mind whether you want to grind for it or not. So we have a pretty decent battle for you today, nothing spectacular, but it's going to come down to 1v3 at the end, at which point I'm going to have to pull it off. Actually, it's going to come down to 2v6 or something like that. Myself and that TD Object 268-5, we're gonna be left alone, just the two of us at the end, and we're gonna be forced to carry versus 6 tanks. So it'll be interesting game, to be honest. But let's start about the tank. So what's unique about this tank? The unique part about this tank is the fact that it contains the auto reloading mechanism. It's not really your regular auto loader. When you load the whole clip and then you fire the whole clip, then you have to wait for the entire reload to complete. With this tank, you can fire each shell one by one, and each shell, once it loads, it's ready to fire. The only problem with that is that the actual reload time per each shell is quite slow. So let's break it down for you. The worst part is if you fire all the shells. If you fire all the shells out of your clip, the reload for the last shell would be 14.2 seconds. So that's quite a long reload, right? Shell number 3, if you already have one shell in the chamber, shell number 3 will reload for 12.7 seconds. Shell number 2, if you have 2 shells already in the chamber, shell number 2 will reload for 11.2 seconds, and last shell will reload for 9.7 seconds. Now, this is my setup, and with my setup, I'm not running vents. I am running combat ratios, rapid loading, and I think that's about it. So yeah, if you use vents, that reload will probably drop even more. So you might want to consider using that. For instance, instead of using your gun skills, because the gun is pretty accurate on this tank, you can pretty much optimize it for reload, and it will probably help you a lot in this situation. Also, as far as camo is concerned, this tank has fantastic camo. It has something like 0.27 camo ratio when stationary. So I would suggest that you use as many camo skills as you can on your commander, and it will definitely help you out. If you cannot use that many, at least make sure you put on camouflage and muffled shot. But because the gun on this tank has really good accuracy, you might not want to run some of those gun skills and just put the camo perks instead. The view range on this tank is 400 meters, so with optics and situational awareness, you will be able to bring this view range to about 460 meters, which is quite good, especially with the concealment, which you can easily drop below 300 meters. Accuracy of this gun stock is 0.33 meters, which is already fantastic. So, like I said, do you really need to use gun perks? Not really. You can try to optimize this tank for everything else but the gun. In my situation, I am using some gun perks because I like my gun to be super accurate. So I'm probably running snapshot and run and gun, and my accuracy is probably in 0.2 something meters range, but honestly, you don't really need that. 9 degrees of gun depression is another beautiful thing about this tank. So it's a beautiful ridgeline fighter. The armor on this thing is not the greatest, but it does bounce some shots quite frequently. Quite funny, to be honest, because in many cases I bounce shots from like tier 10 TDs sometimes off of my turret and off of my front plate. So this tank is quite good. If the reload was a little bit better, I'm sure it would be a better tank to play. I find myself mostly unloading that clip, to be honest, because once you see the enemy and you have the shots, you want to unload that clip. But the problem then is once you unload that clip, that reload is close to 50 seconds, which is absolutely terrible. Between 45 and 50 seconds, depending how you have it set up. So yeah, it's not the best thing in the world to fire the entire clip and let the tank reload, but if you have shots available, may as well take the opportunity and take the damage that's in front of you. Anyway, let's get into the game now. As you can see, we posted early in area E9, and we were waiting for the opposition to come through that corridor, but no one really showed up, so it looks like no one was on this side of the map. Then we engaged the chieftain, and we put some shells into him while he got taken out of the game. Then I basically went towards this side of the map because I noticed that our Progetto 65, there was a second Progetto 65 on our team. He made it all the way through to the enemy base and pretty much didn't spot much on the way. So I wanted to help him, but I was too late to get there, unfortunately. And now, because the enemy is paying attention to this side of the map, the E4 plus the TVP 5051 tier 10 Czech autoloader was also on this side on the map, and he's probably chasing me right now, as well as the Jagdpanzer 100 started paying attention to this side. And my reload is quite long. I decided to just run away from that position, and even though these guys are chasing me, I'm gonna drop back towards the base and I'm gonna try to defend this side of the map. As you can see, our team that was pushing up north got pretty much destroyed. There's only one medium tank left over there. There's still a TD over there as well. And what we have here is myself, this Object 268-5 plus the RD. So at this point I was just gonna go in the middle and see if I can find some shots into the middle of the map while waiting for my reload to complete, and basically take the defensive position and see if the opposition is gonna start pushing to this side of the map. As you notice right now, we're losing this game. It's 4-6, and it's gonna get worse in a split second, so we'll see what happens there. All of a sudden we spot this TVP T5051. I didn't spot it, but I think our TD has spotted it, so we're gonna try to go and approach him and to put some shells into him. He was probably following me, trying to get me out of the game, and now he decided to go after artillery. But I'm gonna have to be really patient here because he can easily clip me out. I have only 938 HP, plus our artillery gets taken out by the opposition's arty. That means if I actually get close to him, he can easily clip me out. So I'm waiting here for our TD to engage him first. I was hoping our TD engages him first, and then I can unload my clip into this guy. So yeah, no shots over here. I'm gonna draw closer. I'm gonna see if we can put some shells into him. But at the same time, I think he decides to drop. So I was worried that he's gonna run away. And he's pretty fast. He can easily get away from this position. But we're gonna catch him in the middle of the field right here. So we're gonna put some shells into him. We put 1, we put 2, we put 3. Can we put the 4th shell in? Unfortunately, he disappears and we're not able to put the 4th shell into him. So we're gonna drop behind the rock right here and we're gonna reload. And this long reload is gonna be a problem. It's gonna take a while for this tank to reload. So it is beneficial for this tank if the games are relatively long, because then you'll do good. If the games are short, obviously you don't have the rate of fire in order to, you know, have good game in this tank. So you need the game to last at least over 5 minutes, that's for sure. And yeah, you need time to reload. So this game was perfect for me because I was able to use my clips, fully reloaded clips, and kind of played it like an autoloader, to be honest. Anyway, so I go back here. I told my TD to defend the base, but he's not listening to me. He's pushing all the way through the 0 line. So I think he decided to go for damage. He thought the game was lost, but I decided to play till the end. And why not? Because, you know, you never know, especially in this tank. It has carry potential. Anyway, we outspot this Object 268-5. We put 1 shell into him, we put 2nd shell, and now we're gonna run off from this position because I know Artie will be looking at me right now. So we're just gonna get away from there and we're gonna go behind the rock to make sure that, you know, minimize that angle if Artie is actually trying to hit us. Although I don't think the Artie was looking my way anyway because I wasn't targeted at any point. So we're gonna hang around here. So we're gonna be defending the base, and we're gonna let the other TD go forward. I mean, he's so far away right now that I can't really help him anymore. And even if I try to catch up to him, the opposition can come and cap the base pretty much and we would lose the game. So last thing I want to do is do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to defend the base. I'm going to poke the ridge lines to see if there's anything coming. And yeah, we're going to see if we can spot anything coming over approaching this position. So as you can see here, we're going to climb up this little hill right here. Just poke our turret up, just our gun mantle, to see if we can spot anything. We can't, so we're going to move forward and we're going to go closer to the left side and see if there's anybody coming from here. So right now it's going to be a patient game, right? We don't want to throw our tank away. As you can see, RTD, he spotted Artie and he's taken Artie out of the game, which was a really good play, to be honest, because having Artie in a game is always problematic. Here we spot the Jagdpanzer 100, but I'm pretty much one shot to him, so I do not want to engage him. Plus he's slow, so why really fight him? And I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna go for our cap, so may as well just leave him there and go to the other side of the map and see if there's anybody else coming after me. That way I know if he's the only one here, whether the opposition is sending another tank into this area, maybe, to outnumber me. And that was the thinking process here. It was pretty much intel, trying to figure out whether there's anybody else coming on this side of the map. But it looks like RTD spotted a medium tank in area F3. Now the TD spotted another medium tank. Both autoloaders are over there. They're not even here. And looks like they're both low health. At least one of them is. As well as the E4, which I tried to take out of the game earlier. I know that TD is also very low health at this point. And at this moment, I was thinking maybe our object is able to take him out of the game, but he gets taken out and it becomes 1v3 situation right now. So let's recap a little bit here. We know that the medium tank is a Progetto 65 and he's a one-shot to me. We know that T110 E4 is a one-shot to me, and none of these tanks can potentially one-shoot me, because even if E4 hits me with plus 10 alpha roll, he's gonna roll 935 and I have 938 HP, so there's no way he can take me out of the game. So first thing I gotta do is reset the base, and that's what I was thinking. So I'm gonna try to come from a different angle and try to reset and put a shell into this Jagdpanzer E100. And we catch his sight. Can we put a shell into him? Yes, we can. And now he's gonna rotate his tank towards me, so we're gonna try to run off from this position. And when it comes to resetting the base, this tank is absolutely fantastic, because your one shell will reload much faster. If you're firing an autoloader, you unload your 4 shells, for instance, and then you have to wait for entire reload, right? So when it comes to that, this tank is really good. Anyway, I'm gonna go back in the field. I was thinking of switching position versus the Jagdpanzer E100, but then we spot the Progetto right here, so we're gonna just charge him and we should just auto-lock him quickly, and we should be able to take him out of the game, because we're looking at him from the top. He was lower than I was, and now we're gonna drop behind the ridge over here, because in case Jagdpanzer E100 decided to climb on top of the ridge and shoot me, he would be able to one-shoot me, and I don't want that to happen, right? So here we're gonna check if the E4 is coming, but like I said, I'm not scared of E4. The only way E4 can actually kill me if he hits my engine and lights me on fire, which is quite possible, although this tank doesn't usually get lit on fire. I don't think I've ever got lit on fire in this tank. So we're gonna go after this Jagdpanzer 100. We're gonna try to reset the base. 30 seconds left. Can we find a shot on him? Ooh, I don't have a shot on him, and I realized that, so I'm gonna have to switch to heat rounds, and we're gonna have to try to approach him from different position. But before we do that, I'm gonna fake him that I'm gonna come from the same side, so that he's looking my way here. Last thing I want to do is put myself in a position where he just snap shoots me, right? So we're gonna come from this angle here. Only 8 seconds remaining, so we need to make sure we put that shell in, and we do. We reset the base, so we're okay right now, and we can pretty much go and change position again and hopefully hit him from another side, different side. But at this point I was thinking, may as well just draw distance, spot him, see if I can use my camo and put a shell into him just like that. But then I get spotted, so I realize the E4 is on my behind right here. He tries to shoot me in my ass, but just tracks me, and we take him out of the game. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go behind this rock. We're gonna lose our 6th sense, and then we're gonna back up, and we're gonna see if we can actually spot the Jagdpanzer 100 without him actually spotting us. And we can, so we're gonna put a shell in the side of his superstructure. We're gonna move forward in case he blind fires, because you never know, anything's possible. And now we're gonna put a 2nd shell into him, and we secure the win for the team. Quite a good finish of this game. I think I played it really well at the end. The thinking was pretty good, and I think I used my tank to the best of its abilities. To be honest, guys, I really recommend this tank. I think it is a good tank. I really like it. I think the gun on it is fantastic. It has really good gun depression. Mobility is absolutely fantastic. The only thing that bothers me is that reload is a little bit long, so you have to be able to manage your shells to the best of your abilities. Anyway, we had a decent game. We finished with class 1. It was over 5,000 damage. I think it was something like 5.5k damage. We finished on top of the team with 1410 base XP. We did have 5 kills, and we managed to clutch this game for the team. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Good luck with grinding this line. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking. Space Bandit checking out.